Hey y'all, Ashes of Creation just now released another huge PTR update with a pretty long set of patch notes, as you can see here. I'm not going to read through every single one of these patch notes, but they will be up on the screen the entire time. Feel free to read through them, pause the video, look at them all. If you don't have access to these notes, you can do them here. But I do want to highlight a few of these because some of them are pretty major changes to Ashes of Creation and what's going to go on going forward. So the very first one, adjusted experience rates to reduce the effectiveness of power leveling. People were getting together with like 4 or 5 friends and then one low level person, and they were just, just killing stuff as fast as they could with the higher level characters, and it was leveling up the lower level people faster. So they don't want people power leveling, so they are taking care of, getting rid of that already. Artisanship experience has gone through a tuning pass. I think that is a very, very interesting / deceptive patch note, because what I'm hearing from people who are on the PTR right now, I technically have access to the PTR. I'm just not, I've been working today, I haven't done it. But what I'm hearing is that they've significantly reduced the speed at which you gain artisanship experience. But it has been increased for animal husbandry, which is good because it was slow as it was. So interesting patch note there. They want it to take a little longer for people to get to power through artisanship. The respawn growth rate and type of trees in the world has been adjusted. My guess is they're trying to adjust it so that you can have more access to the other types of tree. The oak and ash are everywhere, but the western hemlock and eastern larch, I believe it is, are a little bit more difficult to find. So we have an adjustment here on that. This is interesting. Added an additional corruption penalty, which reduces movement speed. They're trying to make corruption more punitive than it already is, which tells me they still have more people that are just going out and just killing random willy-nilly without really paying a severe penalty. So they're trying to make it worse. So now you won't move as fast while you're corrupted. Also added a corruption, quote, blight stat that is gained from killing non-combatant players. So that's people who are not purple, who have not flagged for combat. Blight causes you to gain corruption faster. So again, they're trying to make it more punitive for you to become corrupt. We said this all for years leading up to Alpha 2. We said that one of the big things that was going to need to be tested and adjusted and fine-tuned over and over again during Alpha 2 before launch is the corruption system, how punitive it is. And you can see here we're already in the midst of doing that. This one's very, very interesting. Reduced node XP by around 85%. This is to prevent nodes from instantly leveling up. One of my complaints at the launch of Alpha 2 was the nodes leveled up way too fast. Way too fast. Like, the queues were awful and people weren't able to get into the game, and we had the levels, the nodes maxed to level 3 before a lot of people could even get through the queue and get into the game. I think it took like 6 hours to get a node to level 3. That's way too fast. That's not the way it should be at launch. Slowing them down now is very, very, very interesting because Intrepid has announced there are going to be 2 new servers for this November 8th wave, this wave that's coming in tomorrow. A new US server and a new European server. So those players are going to have to go through the process of leveling a node slowly instead of having it be done almost instantly. And it's not going to be players who've been playing on the PTR the early access alpha like a lot of us were that were on the main servers. So we knew exactly what to do. So it's going to be doubly slow for the people who are going into the new servers. And I'm not going to lie, kind of makes me a little bit jealous. I was not happy with how fast it happened the first time. So you guys should enjoy that process of leveling up those nodes. Pause the timer for loot going public if there's another role currently in progress. So this is one of the things that happens when loot gets left on the ground after a certain amount of time. I don't know how long it is. It might be 2 minutes, something like that. It becomes public, and then anybody can just go pick up that loot from something that you killed if you don't react to it. And what was happening was people were not rolling on the loot, and it was the timer was just sitting there counting down, and then the thing would go public before the person who technically should have been able to win it and pick it up was able to do so. So they've gotten rid of that. A bunch of bug fixes, made several changes to UI font sizing. Boy, I tell you what, people have been all kinds of upset about this font sizing thing for a while now. So I'm glad to see that, because people don't like the font. It don't bother me one bit, but a lot of people don't like the font size or the font itself that they've used. So hopefully the font sizing will help some people out in terms of being able to read the chat. Fix an issue with NPC pathfinding. NPC pathfinding has been just one of the bugaboos of this alpha so far. As fun as it's been, and it has been a lot of fun, the NPC pathfinding has definitely been a problem, so that's good. This one's very interesting, again, for the new people, the people who are going to be starting fresh tomorrow. Reduce the durability of starter tools from 110 to 60. So as it currently is, there's really not a good reason to make the first tier of tools. There's the starter tools. You got to make those because you got to get started. But then you can make copper or zinc tools like tier 1 tools, and it's just an increase of durability, and it's not so much of an increase that it really matters. Like, you can do it if you want to, but there's not a real good reason. The next tier, you start getting more bonuses and more stuff that's better. So this is going to make it where people are going to actually want to go make that first set of tier of tools because the durability increase is going to be really significant. A 60 durability means you're not going to be out there for very long chopping trees or mining rocks. Added a breath bar that should appear while underwater. This should have happened a very long time ago. Right, as it is right now, when you're underwater, you just die all of a sudden out of nowhere. You don't have any indicator of how much breath you have. So breath bar, very good. Added additional mayoral commissions. So I don't know if it's the mayor on my node being not very active or just my timing. It could be timing. I just haven't gone to the mayoral commission board at the right times, but there's never a commission. And maybe because of a lack of commissions, because I see this added additional mayoral commissions. I'm not the mayor of my node, so I haven't seen the mayor interface, so I don't really know exactly what's going on there, but I would like to see more mayoral commissions be put up in my node and in other modes. Updated the mayoral commissions in New Ayla so that it has a similar number of slots as other nodes. So New Ayla wasn't quite as good. I remember I warned about that in one of my live streams, that Winstead and Miraleth were much more advanced in terms of everything the node could do than some of the other ones. And they did close that gap a lot before launch, but I guess this is one area where they missed it. So I'm glad to see New Ayla getting the support they need. Increase the cost and cooldown on war commissions. I knew this was going to have to happen. This is commissioning war between guilds. And right now it takes almost nothing to start war with a guild. And then the other guild is kind of, they're at war, and maybe they don't want to be or whatever, and then when it ends you can just start another one because they cost almost nothing and there's almost no cooldown. So this is a good thing. Citizenship cooldown has been changed to be 36 hours. Whatever. Don't be, as far as I'm concerned, don't be jumping around. A few more bug fixes that are good. And then at the very bottom, made yet even more improvements to NPC navigation to help more with server performance. I know we haven't been talking a lot about the patch notes early this week because there haven't been anything that's really a big deal, but every single one of them have ended with made more improvements to NPC navigation to help with server performance, and then made yet more, and etc. So they are taking that very, very seriously this week. I would really, really not be surprised to jump in tomorrow and find out that the NPC pathing is much, much better, and that therein by makes the servers much, much better. So that's really good. I did miss one of these up here. I want to go back up to the top. Corruption reduction through killing enemies has been changed to scale based on enemy difficulty. So people were getting themselves corrupt and then finding something very, very easy and killing those over and over again to grind off corruption. And now that is going to be difficult. You're going to have to kill things that are more difficult and more challenging to do that. And of course, while you're out there grinding off your corruption, somebody could come along and kill you while you're locked in something, but locked in battle with something that's more difficult than a level 3 Grim or whatever. So there we go, guys. Big patch notes. If any of these changes right here are really going to affect you, I want to know about it down in the comment section below. Let me know how this affects you. For me personally, my guild is trying very hard to pump up a animal husbandry specialist, and so this is going to help us a lot because now we're going to be able to make that happen a little faster. Let me know, guys. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in a video real soon.